Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nightly Exchange. Today is September 11th, 2025. Obviously, we know September 11th is a major historical, you know, day in America for all of the wrong reason. Um, we obviously had a tragic event that occurred 24 years ago in 2001, when there was a terrorist attack on the U.S. soil for the first time, actually. So today symbolizes a day of agony, a day of sorrow, and a day of self-reflection. Um, so we want to send our heartfelt condolences to all of the victims, families, loved ones, people that are mourning what was a tragic event on 9/11, 2020, 2001. Having said that, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Nightly Exchange. Today, I'm going to be your host, partly. Hopefully, Amy can find herself back here as quickly as possible. But I'm going to be your host tonight. So I am excited to be hosting tonight, and I want to welcome all of you tonight. And I want you guys to really engage the show as usual. I want you to comment, I want you to like, I want you to share, and I want you to invite people to come along so that we can build this community on a nightly change here. So, welcome everybody. Tonight, obviously, like every other night, there are topics that we're going to engage with, there are conversation we're going to engage with, there are position statement that someone's going to make, and there are position statement that you're not going to agree with. That's fine. All right? You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. That is totally okay. That is my take. That is my personal perspective on that matter. It's okay. You're not going to die. None of us going to die for disagreeing with each other, right? But in the spirit of a conversation, let always try to agree to disagree. It's not going to hurt anything. And nobody needs to obviously fear or feel intimidated because they disagree with somebody. Okay? So that's what we're not going to do. But got a lot of happiness in the country, obviously. I'm really one of the country that there's always something happening. Liberia is just unique. There's something happening every day. Speaking of some of the things that we're going to be discussing today, are some of the headlines that we obviously, heard of today, or at least read about today, was LRA. LRA is poised to fire 46 employees. 46 employees. I mean, speaking of a scandal, that is absolutely unprecedented. That there are 46 employees right now on LRA payroll that are going to be losing their job anytime from now. Don't ask me why. I'm just bringing it up here so that we can have a conversation around it. It was reported, and this is something LRA been investigating for the past, I believe, 3 months, according to the article I read today. So I don't know. It was not detailed enough for me to at least give you guys, a real insight into what that is. But what I know for fact is that LRA is first to fire or terminate 46 employees. Okay, so that's what we're going to get into today. In other news, former sports minister, former youth and sport minister actually, former youth and sport minister under CDC, that's obviously headed by President George Manuel Weah, Mr. D. Zoka Wilson, right, former youth and sport minister. Well, we all know he was on Spoon today, and he made these statements. And I quote, I pleaded fifth. I don't know why you pleaded the fifth on a statement that is obviously yours. Why you pleading the fifth if you're making a very independent statement? You don't need to plead the fifth on that. So I pleaded fifth about former President Weah not coming back in 2025. 2029. And I have no idea if he will be back in 2029. That's Zoka Wilson then. So I don't know where he's getting that. I don't know what Zoka Wilson I'm trying to soothsayer or Zoka Wilson I start cutting sand, but whatever that is, that's Zoka Wilson statement. I pleaded fifth about former President Weah coming back in 2029. I have no idea if he will be back in 2029. So you have no idea if he will be back 2029. But he pleaded fifth though. That's Zoka Wilson there. So we're gonna talk about that. Like, what's the motivation behind that move? What is he really trying to gain from that? And then staying with former former youth and sports minister Zoka Wilson. Then let's come to current deputy youth and sport minister. So the current deputy youth and sport minister, I don't know the guy's name, but I know for a fact he has taken a leave of absence and made alleged rape investigation. So from the former youth and sport minister to the current deputy youth and sport minister, who by all indication, I think a lot of you came across this story, they do have taken a leave of absence on an allegation of rape, right, that he was involved with. So I think leave of absence is appropriate, but what is even expedient to me is the fact that he's out of that space. This is an allegation. I'm not gonna cast any verdict on the brother, but I do know for a fact these are things that usually have a lot of truth behind them. But again, it is what it is. It has been alleged, and we're going to deal with it as it is. So those are your headlines, and we're going to get into the conversation momentarily as we get, other folks, tuning in, and we can go ahead and start this conversation. So we're going to start with the resignation. Not a resignation. Oh my goodness. Not a resignation. The leave of absence taken by the deputy youth and sports minister on an alleged rape allegations, right? So my people, this is my thing. Labrador is not stranger to this kind of allegations or these kind of stories. So it's unfortunate, but that's exactly what it is. I mean, there's a lot of problem. There's a lot of problem. But I'm absolutely, I am. I mean, this is good that at least people are flagging these things out, and people are being really, sort of like held accountable for some of their, transgressions, and these things are really making out in spaces now, often now than ever before. So that is a big deal. That is a big deal. Um, yeah, people are taking a lot of people are taking advantage of our young daughters and sisters, and and kids in our country. And to have this now, hopefully, investigation, obviously, that's why everything here right now is being alleged. Like I said, I'm not casting any verdict on the brother. I'm not obviously accusing him as a rapist. That's not what I'm doing. But we applaud the fact that he's taking a leave of absence, and giving chance to investigation and investigators and all that stuff. So that is a good step in the right direction. Um, so these things continue to happen in the country. When a country that is heavily, a country that is heavily sexualized. It is um, you know inconceivable to not really applaud the swift maneuvering by the government to have this guy take effective immediately leave of absence, having been accused on an allegation of rape. And this is something, what I mean. It's very unfortunate, but at least we seen a swift action. Hey George, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, good, good, good. Ture, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very, very well, man. I hope you're doing the same. Well, welcome to the Nightly Exchange, to the brand new day.
It is.
And we're here to discuss elaborate people's work. And I'm glad to be on here with you, man, making that sacrifice to be here as well.
Mm.
So what's on your mind? Let go right into it, brother.
Look, definitely. Look, what you were saying, I'm disappointed in the government, especially President Boakai, to allow this guy to take a leave of absence. It should be set aside, because rape is unbelievable in our country, right? An accusation is very, very important, right? And even though we are not saying that he's guilty, right? But this warrant of suspension, not for him to say, I will leave my job. You know what I mean? And then goes away.
Well, he's
And
leaving pending an investigation,
yeah,
right?
but I would rather that action was taken against him by the government to show to others as a deterrent that not because you are in government, so you can do this. These are the same people who say, "Oh, as a though is a woman beater, as a woman," they are raping people. President Boaka should take good action that will make sure that people see that this is a serious, thing. But then you allow him
Josh,
to nonsense. And I know
Josh.
you're going to back it. You're going to back it because you're going
No,
to
no, I'm
you're
not backing
the
anything, bro.
government.
Come on, man.
That's
I'm
what
not
you.
backing
That's what
anything. No,
I
no,
know
no, I'm not
you.
backing anything. No,
No,
no, no.
you're
You
not
see,
backing the white guy. We're not
no, no,
backing
no.
him.
You see,
We're just telling him,
there's the thing, Josh. I would like coming, bro. It's just the two of us right now. So we're gonna enjoy our mind until anybody can join us. But I'm just telling you, Josh. It is a it is a professional um thing to do. I mean, in any way, even in America here, right? It is an allegation that's not been proven to be fact, right? So he taking a leave of absence is not anything that he's being pressured by government. He's not being pressured by anybody. He just saying his presence on the job right now is not conducive for everyone else, right? It creates this hostile environment. So he's really literally like recusing himself. right? Until the pending outcome of the investigation. And I think that should be something like that anybody should applaud. But you saying the government should cast, a verdict on this guy without even having all of the facts. That I'm saying, I don't think that's what it is. You just said the government should make example out of him, George. How can the government make example out of somebody that the government don't even have all of the established facts?
Suspension should be the least action taken. That's what I mean. Suspend him pending investigation. So look, I don't know, Ture, look, that's what the problem is, and that's where Liberia continue to retrogress because we got different rule for different set of people, and we got different rule for certain set of people. I'm sure, definitely, right now, if this was a CDC government, people like you or people from the opposition or the UP or people who support different parties will now be calling for that person to be axed. We are not calling for him to be dismissed because he has to go through the legal system to make sure that he's guilty or not. However, this government should set him aside to suspend him. President Bouakai has suspended people for even arguing with their bosses at work. He has done that.
Will you care to name one person that the president suspended him for arguing with their boss at work?
Fadiga.
Nah, come on, man, George. You say you saw that.
Argument broke out in a meeting.
That was more. That was a chaotic. That was a chaotic experience, and you know very much, George.
Okay, so
I mean, as a leader at your job, George, you will not allow any of your subordinates, right, to engage in that kind of hostility. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, George. Like, let's try to be fair. That like this brother, his situation does not warrant the president involvement right now. There's the only area I would agree with you. If the president would have made it explicitly clear that anybody, if your name is brought up in certain allegations, right, we have to make this thing clear. Because any negative publicity is not good for government. It's not good for the morale of the government, right? But you cannot just, if the government, by the government stepping in to suspend a guy and do all of these things, the government is in fact buying into, or the government is literally, like accepting the fact that this guy is guilty without having any tangible proof or information to their disposal. So we got to be careful as to how we go about doing this thing. The brother did the most professional, acceptable thing, right? In any professional setting, when you become the center of attention, right? What you do as a professional person, you recuse yourself and give the investigators chance to have you either, proven guilty or have you exonerated.
So Chiri, you are a professional person, so I'm not going to go to a level where I'll be in a mock, to explain this thing to you because I know you are a very knowledgeable guy, and trying to think otherwise will be unjust to you, unfair as well. And you know that if someone is someone resigns their position because they are accused of something, right? And someone being fired because of their accusation, right, or suspended by accusation. Those two things take different weights, right?
Oh yeah, of
Because
course. Yeah.
yeah, when you resign or you recuse yourself, it gets little dent on your records, right? While when you are suspended, there is a clear message here from management that what you are accused of or what you are said to have done, it is unacceptable, and there is a strong message to your colleagues or those or will be offenders or doers of that same act to desist. So I would rather that this government send a strong message out because raping our country is unbearable. That's one of the capital offenses in our country. It is very, it is, you go straight to jail. You cannot even come from jail. They can't bail you out. You'll be in jail until the investigation is concluded, until the case is completed. So guess what now? This guy is accused. Police are doing the investigation, right? And okay, when he is indicted, then the president will say, okay, I will fire him or I will suspend him. No, once you are accused, you get suspended. and you stay into suspension until the investigation is concluded. When it is concluded, bring it back. But President Bouakai again dropped the ball, disappointed the Liberian people by not taking decisive action. Anyway, he's in America. Why is he there? No one knows. The UNGA is on the 23rd. But President Bouakai already left the country. He's in America. So how can such a person be effective leader? In your place, it's ridiculous. And I'm so disappointed that you are here and trying to back the idea of this guy letting himself off the hook and going to sit down and say, okay, you'll do your investigation. I will sit down. It does not say anything about this government being effective.
Nah, man, look.
So, but look, again, you guys, it is
George,
it is what you guys believe in. It's okay.
George, let me bring you back. Let me bring you back, brother. I mean, you know you're my old man, but at the end of the day, look, I'll do the politics and I'll also do the common sense. All right. Conventional wisdom will tell you that are innocent until proven otherwise. Right, George? So are we just not going to play by that rule? We're just going to let that, like out of the way? You can't in any way suspend somebody. The only time, wait. The only time you can suspend somebody, you might have had, or at least, perhaps, been presented tangible, reliable evidence that in fact that judgment there might have a little culpability, right? Then government will move to suspend you based on that information. Then government have every right to suspend you based on that. But you cannot in any way, Josh, with all of your professional experience that you have acquired over the years, Josh. The thing that brother did, in as much rape is something, I mean, bro, we all have daughters, man. You know what I mean? That is a zero tolerance for me, right? Taking advantage of females, taking advantage of anybody whatsoever. But I cannot in any way sit here, knowing that even in the great United States, people have lied on people of sexual abuse, sexual assault, including rape. And only to go find out that in fact, it was lied. And Liberia is no exception. So allow this guy to recuse himself. He's not leaving the country. Allow investigator to go and do their investigation. Then whatever that outcome is, then we can treat it as such. But we should not in any way indict people based on allegations without having a tangible proof. You know what I mean? I don't think that is a road that we need to take, and I don't think that is a precedent that we should set. But have the final take on that, then we can get into the second topic here.
Look, it's not. I'm not going to go back and forth with this, and I know that our listeners will be the judge. The Liberian people are the judges, and the thing is that I can still remember few months ago, one of the ambassadors' daughter, according to him, his daughter was raped by another ambassador's son or one of the workers, right? And I heard people calling for allegedly rape. It was not something that from in quote. And I heard people calling President, we are responsible, or saying that President, we have to have taken decisive action by uh, um, either recalling the ambassador or doing this or doing that or doing this. But this one is right in our backyard, right in Monrovia. The father is crying, the relatives are crying, the girl is there. And even I listened to Spoon this morning, the guy who is accused of this rape, he was trying to um, settle this thing out of the public. He was trying to talk to the father to say, look, I could give you $1,000 if that me are going to do it. I'm going to give you $1,000, and this and that and that. The father made it clear on the radio, and then you say he should be found guilty before any action to be taken against him by the government. Let me tell you, you know what? Let me tell you something. I worked for the United Nations for so many years. When we went into a country, because they knew that we are at a position of power. We have money more than the local people, and we have influence. So they say it was not advisable or it was considered an offense for us to date local people, to get in a relationship with local people because of the power we had. They saw it to be exploitation. So if you got power, you have money, you have the influence, you can do anything. This guy has money, he has power, he has opportunity. He could do anything to influence the outcome of the case. President Bouakai, you have suspended him. That will remove the authority and the influence so that he goes into this particular investigation as a common citizen. But without removing that, it is the service to the parents, to the Liberian people, to many rape victims across the country, by the president. So look, I will leave it as that. I'm not here. I'm not going to pass judgment. But I'm just saying I'm disappointed in the way he's handling the country. I think this president is completely, letting the Liberian people down because people who went president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went ahead, even when he was vice president, they made sure that rape was unbearable. Unbearable means when you are accused, my brother, you are arrested and taken to jail because you have position of power, you're able to influence the family. So you are taken to jail until the investigation is over and the case is over before you can leave that prison. They didn't say you have to be guilty before they can dismiss you. So look, it is up to you. It is your judgment. And I know a lot of people around the world who are listening to us or watching the show, they will have a different view of you. But you trying to support this kind of thing. But the
Well,
president,
I'm not. Well, I guess what. Thank you very much for putting it the way you did. Right. At the end of the day, we got smart men and women that are listening to us, and they'll make their decision. But brother Paul, please turn your camera on. So they they'll make their decision. Someone is
I
coming
think
in.
there's an interference. Yeah, there's an interference. I think his Fitzroy it has a problem with his gadget or something.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Then remove it until he can put his camera on.
Yeah, he will come back.
Put it in the bag.
Yeah. So George, I mean, look, there are smart people watching us, and they will make their decision. And I truly believe in as much rape is something that is not tolerable in my space. But I know quite too well that these kind of things, especially in a country like Liberia, where extortion is something like that people seek to go through, and we start finding everybody guilty, and without going through the judicial process, then what kind of country do we have? You know what
Suspension
I
does
mean?
not mean guilty. Suspension does not mean guilty. People are
Well,
suspended wrong work.
but you just said it. You said this guy shouldn't have been allowed to take leave of absence,
Yeah,
which
he
is
should be suspended.
absolutely acceptable. Which is absolutely acceptable, right? You are literally voluntarily leaving without pay, bro, right? Government suspend you, government pay you, but this guy is leaving, taking a leave of absence. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not good yet right now. My present year not going to achieve anything. It's just going to bring a lot of noise. It's going to draw a lot of media attention. People going to come and flood. You know what I mean? The ministry, and and my co-workers don't deserve that. So this guy is leaving to go stay home. Why investigation take its course? I don't know what is wrong with that. Civilized civilized country that we claim to have, right? At the end of the day, they say what? Innocent until proven guilty, right? We have to maintain that. It don't matter. Even you kill somebody, right? Somebody can just go and accuse you, they have to establish all of the facts. Josh, you cannot in any way, because this is the thing. You have to understand when government suspend that man, it hits all newspaper. Guilt sometimes comes with certain level of suspension. Because government can just move like that and suspend you. The government might literally have to be informed of certain things to do that. The government can just say, oh, the person raped somebody in prison, they're going to suspend you, right? Maybe government will do that, but guess what? You can sue government for doing that. Because now you're talking about a suspension based on absolute or no tangible proof or merit. You know what I mean? And that will also lead to
What are you talking about, Ture? What are you talking about? You work at the will and pleasure of the president. You can't sue the president for suspending you. You can't sue the president for dismissing you. You work at the will and pleasure of the president. If the president feels that this allegation is a grave allegation, he takes action. He doesn't wait until verdict comes up.
So suspend without facts?
No, what do you mean facts?
Suspend without established facts?
An allegation is an allegation. I'm not saying that this guy is guilty, but I said the government should set a deterrent.
What do you have issue? I just told you the guy literally took a leave of absence. Then you talking about the guy should come and government should suspend.
He shouldn't have been given the opportunity to take a leave of absence. Suspension was the only way possible or out of this thing. That's what I'm telling you.
So Josh,
yeah.
Have you not heard about someone sensing that they're about to get fired? You probably have had a co-worker somewhere that obviously it was Roman that the president was going to be fired and the president just sending a resignation.
Yeah. So yes, what happens?
You know what I'm saying? You know how people do that.
Yeah, but let me finish. Thank you for that good question. Let me come to you with it. If a rumor comes out that if I feel that I did something wrong and I'm going to be fired, I can resign. But guess what? Depending on the circumstances, your resignation can be rejected and you can be fired. Because they know that if you resign, guess what? It does not taint your records.
Exactly.
Right? You resign.
Right.
But if you are fired, you can never work in that area anymore, in that entity anymore. That's why when you are fired for government, you shouldn't be able to work in government again, right?
Exactly.
For some other beyond certain level. So that's what I'm trying to say. It depends on the priority of that person who is leading that entity or the manager. If you can accept somebody's resignation because they stole money, can you? You work at a bank. You work at a bank and then you steal money. And then you are being investigated. You know that you're going to be fired. They say, I resign. Should they accept your resignation and say, okay, bye-bye, see you?
Oh, absolutely not. But let's use the same logic, though. Let's use the same logic. If you are suspended, don't you know suspension too can obviously like show on your record?
No.
Come on, man. You know very well that.
No, listen.
You know very well.
Put on your file. Listen, a letter can be put on your file, but it's not as grave as being fired or suspended.
But let them not have that at all.
Okay, all right. Look. Let applaud the president.
If I should not have
this guy to go on leave of absence, let applaud this president and the government.
Let him take a leave of absence. Let investigation
for allegedly ripping a 14-year-old girl. For allegedly ripping a 14-year-old girl. Let this man go on a leave of absence. Thank you. Let's move to another topic.
All right, let's move on. Speaking of Deputy Youth and Sport Minister, let's go to former Youth and Sport Minister, your own partisan, D. Zoka Wilson. The man, obviously, he was a guest on Spoon today, and he made a lot of headway, right? He hit this one. He said, I plead the fifth about former President Weah coming back in 2029. I guess he was asked a question, you know what I mean? If there's any chance of former President George Manuel Weah coming back in 2029. So he said he pleaded fifth. He pleaded fifth about former President George Manuel Weah making a comeback 2029. But my question is, for a man who worked for a president for 9 years, for 6 years, but he also said, I have no idea if he'll be back in 2029. End of quote. So Josh, if I ask you, Josh, the President Weah will be coming back 2029, knowing you will say with absolute certainty that President George Manuel will be coming 2029 without any hesitation. You know what I'm saying? So, George, let me ask you a question. Is President George Manuel Weah coming back 2029?
Absolutely, yes, he's coming back. And look, one of the things about me, I'm not a hardcore, I'm not a hardliner, right? And I do believe in the um, the freedom of speech and expression. I do believe that everyone should be allowed to speak their mind. You know what I mean? And at no time, nobody in whatsoever manner should be intimidated because they spoke their mind. And because the reason why I come here because I'm allowed to speak my mind, right?
Right.
And I applaud Zuka Wilson for the statement. I did not criticize him on Facebook. No, we all have we all have this zeal, this energy in us that we want to see Liberia excel beyond any imagination, right? Especially when I work for the government, I want because let me tell you, people who are going all around making all this noise about they say we have failed for school. What is a yardstick? What is the benchmark? Because before, if you go to a class, before you fail, they say from what 70 up in a pass,
Yeah.
from from 70 down in a fail. What is a
Right.
yardstick for setting up? What are the person pass or fail in school? We don't have that. We don't have that. But people are so naive to the fact that because sometimes they are led by their emotions, they say that the person
Wait,
fail.
saying sports?
Yeah.
Did you ask where's the yardstick
Yeah, what's the benchmark set for being successful and failure? Is it to win a World Cup,
in
or is it to
sports?
go to African Cup of Nations, or is it to build sports facilities? Is it this is the thing I'm asking. What is your benchmark? Because your benchmark might be different from my own benchmark. So there's no national
No,
benchmark
but
for success and failure.
no, but George, there is a benchmark. I mean, if you talk about in school, 70 up is a passing mark. Below 70 is failing mark, right? That's the
Yeah,
benchmark set there, right? And obviously,
yeah,
if you take that into on a page, the
mhm.
benchmark is between win and losses. You
What,
know,
yeah,
you
what are the
you
wins? What are the wins and what are the losses? How do you enumerate those ones when it comes to the sporting department? How do you do that?
well you
Is it
win
is it, is
trophy,
it
you
yeah,
you
yeah,
win trophy or you don't win
yeah.
trophy,
Okay, you don't win trophy, that means you fail. And
and you
if you
also
don't,
have personal accolades and stuff like that, which
okay, and
obviously
that's the thing, and that's my argument here. There's no benchmark. However, we all want Liberia to succeed in anything we put our hands in, right? So I don't disagree with the former minister's disappointment in his own sources, in the sources of the government when it comes to sports. Even though there was a lot done, right? But it did not
sports.
reach this. It did.
You didn't talk about sports.
Oh,
You didn't talk about sports. You didn't talk about whether the man will come back in 2029 or not.
yeah, no. Look, yeah, I already made a point
But
on.
for
I
sure,
think you.
please mute yourself, bro.
Yeah, please me. I think you got a noise from your background. Yeah, thank you. Okay, you said President we have to come out and plead the fifth. Look, anybody can support anybody in Liberia. I can support you, you can support me. And you got a reason not to support me, I got a reason not to support you. You know what I mean? And if I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. And guess what? He made a remarkable statement. He said he does not want to be involved in politics anymore. He said even when anybody wins an election and calls him for a job, you reject it. So this is a guy who is telling you that I'm saying bye bye to politics. I don't want to be involved, so I don't want to have a say. That's why he
All right,
pleaded fifth. He's
George.
not saying that we will not come back or we will come back. He's not saying neither of that because he does not want to get involved in the politics, and that's what he said.
Okay,
So
George.
let's move.
Thank you very much.
You're
Let's
welcome.
go to brother. Is that Paul Fitzgerald?
Putu.
It's Putu.
Putu. Oh, Putu. My bad. Putu
Putu, my
Fitzgerald,
man, what
correct?
happened to your life? What happened to your life, my man? You looking at once, when the people went fun and they stone like
Hey, Joy.
You ready for me,
Man,
bro?
My man, y'all gotta talk, my man. Yeah, man.
But
Hey,
it will went far. And the
what's
stone
up,
like a
man?
beautiful farm. That stone, I ain't looking at my man.
yeah,
They
I'm
go put
sorry for my
glasses on
background.
that too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my background. I was actually sleeping. Like I got up not too long.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
like I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this show. Um, I was actually invited here tonight by Thomas, by
oh,
Thomas Coleman,
oh,
Oh,
Thomas
okay.
and
Coleman. Okay, yeah, Thomas.
yeah,
He probably saw in the comment section. He probably saw in the comment section.
You usually
But
here, but he's not here tonight. I haven't seen his comment yet.
okay, well, he probably will be here soon. But welcome, my man. Welcome. So let's just go right into it. So you're joining us from Liberia, correct?
yeah. I'm from Liberia, to be precise, GSA Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Great. Well, thanks for spending time with us tonight. Let's get right into the topic. So look, Zuka Wilson, former Youth and Sport Minister of Republic of Liberia, was asked whether there's any possibility he sees of President John Mahama we are making a comeback 2029, and he said he pleaded fifth. So pleaded fifth. He didn't want to really get involved with it, but then he doubled down um, by saying, he have absolutely no idea if President we are we making a comeback. So what is your position, President John Mahama we are coming back? Are you someone who thinks he might come back, or you are not yet ready to make that prediction?
Thank you very much for the question, my great brother. Honestly, I'm a partisan politician, but I would not really want to speak to that right now. But I will give my clue on it.
Okay.
Um, what I like I said, what I came here for, I came on this show to actually talk about my dad. You know, my dad is ill, and I spoke with Thomas, and I shared some of the pictures with him that he's not well, and he's actually going through a serious medical problem right now. That we are trying to fly him abroad for medical treatment, to be precise, India, and we are trying to raise money for his, you know, his medical treatment in India, and we are targeting 6,500, which we are currently raising as I speak. I think we got something in the cover, like up to um pretty close to 600 hours since the video and other thing was posted by the great brother Kwame Weeks. But just to participate in what you guys are saying and to give my own clue on the coming back of the former president George Manuel Weah. I, in my own opinion, I will tell you that the former president George Manuel Weah, he has already defeated himself by saying he will not come back. So that alone can tell you that politically he has been defeated.
And you're
That
throwing the
means he,
towel.
yeah, he has already seen the picture. He has already, seen the picture, the future picture, that even if he decide to come, there will be men that will put stop to him. There will be men that will defeat him. So he doesn't want to come and be defeated twice in a race. Because he doesn't want to come and be defeated in a race twice, to kill that shame from on him, he wants to just to just give himself that that privilege to say, let me step aside and allow what the Liberian people want happen. Like, if I just put myself into this 2029, the disgrace that I got in 2023, it will be more than what I will receive in 2029. So these are things that he's trying to see. The people around him are people who are trying to just, encourage him. They're trying to encourage him to come back. But the former president himself already knows that there will be no comeback for him. There will be no comeback. Because, take for a typical example, some of those things that the former president didn't do in Liberia at the time he had opportunity, especially he been a soccer giant in Africa, someone who has opportunities, who has connections, who have made it possible that a lot of young people would have benefited from his regime. The country, the Liberian people, they needed, could have benefited from his regime. They were not able to benefit as compared to what the current president is doing. So, because of that, in my own opinion, I think that George Manuel Weah, former president, cannot make it in 2029 election because there will be great men that will fight him out. I thank you.
All right. So yeah. So
No,
Ture, can you
man, wait now. Ah, man, I mean, what's the issue tonight, Josh?
all right, go ahead.
So thank you very much for that brilliant take. Obviously, you seems to have been very, very informed about the issue. Your take is very, very prudent. It comes from a place with a highly sophistication and information. So I just want to acknowledge that. But Josh, obviously,
Yeah.
that was our brother position there. That President George Manuel we have thrown in the tower by making that he have no desire to come back, and you can tell from the president current engagement. The president is obviously engaging with stuff that we thought that the president could have. Yeah, brother. But Bucci, get me yourself. Yeah, I'm getting a feedback from you. The president, you can tell George right now that the president is more in an arena where we thought that the president would be more comfortable in. He's not exposing himself to a lot of international engagement with FIFA and all of that stuff. That is an arena we know the president can sell in, right? But can you still come with that same conclusion that the president has thrown the towel from 2029? He has absolutely no desire to coming back to the presidency, given everything that we know now. The president is not even in the country currently as we speak, and the president is engaged more internationally. His son is obviously playing in France, where the president, spend most of his time now. So, can you buy into the idea that the president has thrown the towel and there's no chance of him coming back come 2029?
Thank you, Ture. And Brother Putu, I'm so sorry about your dad's health. My dad too as well. He's bedridden for the past 7 years. He can't walk. He's been using a wheelchair. I've taken all over the world, all over the place, for treatment, and nothing has ever happened to, recover his health. So I'm in prayer with you. I hope that you guys can find the financial resources people can contribute. And if I have the opportunity as well, I will like to contribute. And I haven't seen Mr. Weeks' post. If I do see it and I see the number there, I will make my little contribution. So I'm sorry to hear that. But to the point, coming on here and saying President we are showing the town, I think you might have not been you've been busy with your dad's health, so you haven't been listening to radio or listening to the training developments. Because President Weah said that from the beginning that he was not interested in coming back. But after looking at how his people have been treated, he changed his mind and he said he is coming back. So if you still think so, I just want to disabuse your mind that President Weah is coming back, and he will come back, and he will be president of the Republic of Liberia. And I just want to also let you know, I heard you say something that you are partisan, and I understand just by what you said. You don't need to tell me which partisan you are. I know which partisan you are. But here's the thing: if you say that the current president is doing what President Weah did not do, can you give me an example what this president is doing? It's because you said people are benefiting from this president, then they benefited from George Weah. Can you tell me, give me an example what this president is doing that President Weah did not do? Just one example before I can continue my discussion. Can you unmute yourself, please? Okay, good.
Okay. Like I said, I didn't really come here to talk more politics, but
Mm-hmm,
as a patriotic citizen and
mm-hmm,
someone who follow the issues of development,
mm-hmm,
I want to tell you that if you've been following the current development in country, one of the most recent one, I will just tell you it, and I'll be blunt with it.
mm-hmm,
The president, current president Joseph Yumambuaka, through his um administration,
mm-hmm.
he has been able to implement the shortest of rice price and gasoline. And you know that during the past regime, Liberia had not had the storage of a gasoline or petroleum in Liberia. During the current president regime, he tried to implement that through the power of the veteran leader Amos Toy.
Thank
And
you.
secondly, secondly, I want you to know that during the former president regime,
Mm-hmm,
there are a lot of rules that he said he was going to implement. He was going to create. He was going to build. He did not build that rules, especially the ones leading to the southeast region.
mm-hmm.
Now, during this current government, we see that roads are going to that side. So isn't that something new that we're supposed to know about? Isn't that something new and different that George Weah didn't do, the former president?
Thank you. So thank you, and thank you about that. And I like that. You gave me some examples. But the thing is that the reason why this is a difficult discussion to make is that when you look at the priorities that the, our government faces, currently the LU cannot restart. Thousands of Liberian children are missing out on education. Just know that if you miss one semester, your life goes back one almost 6 months. That means you got to go back and do that semester before you come back. Currently, because the government does not have money, LU cannot restart. They need 550,000. Development planning, which is the finance and development planning department, say they don't have money for that. So people lives are going to go back 6 months because they cannot do what it's supposed to be doing now. So they gotta go back and do it again. So if you look at the balance of probability, where you see that you want to make a point that President Weah did not build the Southeastern Road. He built a Lofa Road. He was building a Lofa Road. He did not complete it. And if you are conversant with engineering and the procurement process of durable roads and infrastructure, you will know that it takes at least 6 months for procurement to happen. At least. Then for mobilization, takes another maybe 6 to 7 months, and even more. So the build road is not just like this. Even now, the roads you see that they're talking about in Southeast, they are not built roads. They are dead roads that the other machines are trying to make smooth so that people can pass. I will tell you here, I agree with that because I feel that if a road is passable, we can wait until you build it. That CDC did not do. And for to their defense, they were basically facing other roads and they were doing the procurement of the roads. If you ask your current public works minister, he knows that the road in the southeast, the money was already made available from the World Bank, from Africa Development Bank as well. So they were going through the process of building the roads. So they did not have the time to finish it, just like the Bali Island that they promised to do, they did not finish it. That in no way should tell you that Joey, they're not doing it, this government is doing it. What new project is the government doing that Georgia wasn't doing? So the thing is that, and I know how, gullibility plays part and also partisan politics play part in these things, but I just want us to be open-minded sometimes when we say things. You say that the thing what they turn Joey out there, he not do it. What? You are building road. Joey was building road in Lofa. You were building the Ganta and the Ganta highway, the road I'm going to look at too. You were building it as well. Or you went for him to be the article said President Baga who go and build mansions in Lofa for himself, for his people. President Weah is from the southeast, but he said, look, I will not focus on there now, but I'll focus on the ones that were already procured that we're going ahead to build. So let's build them, and then we'll build that one while the procurement is going on. We cannot sit and wait. So let's try to build these roads. How many hospitals has Waka built? President Weah focus on that as well, building infrastructure for our people. The Fundi Military Hospital, these same people are saying we have GFK. Why you can't go build GFK? You can't go face GFK. You're building a hospital now. Now people are trooping to the Fundi Military Hospital for treatment. And you come and sit there and say, he did not do it. We did not do the one, he did not do that one. So he should not come back. Every government has its own priority. And when priority comes, resources become allocated to the priorities. So you cannot come here and tell me that we did not do this one, so he cannot come back. The presidency in Liberia is for every one of us. Anyone who has the intention, even me, if I have the intention I want to become president, no one can stop me. Not your view or not anybody's view can stop me. So let us just move on and know that once you are qualified, our constitution says you should be over 25 and you can stand for presidency in our country. So forget about Weah. Focus on this government that does not have money to open LU. Focus on the government that drugs is taking over the country. People are dying every day. Zoko has increased in the country. The children that person, like I said, we're not going to be selling in the street. They are even triple now because the hardship in the country. They are selling between cars. Children as young as 7, 6, they are selling in the streets. Focus on that and forget about President Weah. Whether he's with his son, watching his son to play soccer or working with working with FIFA, it shouldn't be your concern. What about Bwaka? When Bwaka left government, what job did he ever get? Who ever recognized him? Less than 2 years, President Weah out of the presidency of Liberia, he got appointment. That shows his far-reaching contacts. That's why when he went to France the first time, they gave us $10 million for our government. Waka has been going out of the country for many years now. For 11 times out of the country, he hasn't brought a penny back. Spend our money, go and come by and bring MOUs, and nothing to show for. So you guys should just find something to talk about instead of focusing on somebody whose life is even far better than even the president who is the president now. Costa was the one that was doing everything for your president, your current president, because he know how to mean. He said you're taking money from our banks to pay for his living expenses. And then you want to talk about Ria, who out of the country already, living his life, making sure that he flies that real flag out there at FIFA, at the hardest the peak body of sporting in the world. And then you want to say he's not coming back. You're wasting your time. Liberia, we need to focus on what is important to us. I thought by now, President Bouaka, who talked about bringing investors, bringing companies. He said you're going to bring companies. He hasn't brought one company yet in the country. One, all he does, the strategy now is to add taxes on people. Every day they want to increase taxes on people. Because when you increase taxes on business people, the taxes will come on the Liberian people. The market won't going to buy the bags of fish from the cold storage. But I didn't call it Liberia, the cold storage. The person who's going to buy that, I didn't pay that money where you are there. That 2 cents where you are on that person's money. That the person who's going to buy, who coming from Raleigh or who coming from Douala to go and buy that fish, that the person paying that money. They're not the people that get the businesses. They will pass the cost on. So now this government without ideas, without any new ideas, all they do now is to add more taxes on the people. That's why prices are going up. And when you superficially, artificially bring prices down, things go pear-shaped. That's why the country is in trouble now than it was before. That's why people are crying in the markets. The only different thing that President Bouaka has done is to dismiss people because of their political views from government. That's the only different thing he did. President Weah did not do it because most people that worked on President Weah were not seditionists. Most of them were other opposition members, and they still work in the government. But President Bouaka made it sure, even if you are elected, he wants to get rid of you because he wants everyone to support him. He's a dictator. That's what it is. And it's sad that people come on here and want to make it seem as if President Weah failed the Liberian people and Bouaka is succeeding. What has Bouaka done? Nothing. Now somebody has been raped by a 14-year-old child has been raped by his own government official, and then he sit there and allow the president to recuse himself, to go on leave of absence. It's sad, and we should be saying these things directly to the face of our Liberian people so that they can listen and know that the failure they see today, it is not a determinant of the failure that was before, or it's not equivalent. That's all. So look, Ture, I think you gave me a lot of time there. I really enjoyed myself just now because
Yeah, I really enjoy myself.
yeah,
But look,
enjoy
man,
myself.
bro.
Baku is strong. Yeah, we're doing it.
I know you again freestyling right now.
Yeah, exactly. How to make use of the time, man.
I mean,
the Bible says redeem the time. But it is
man. Opportunity come but once.
That's it.
And I would make the best of it. But look, brother Tabata, Lila was in Tabata. But look,
basically.
Bro Putu, man, look, obviously my heart goes out to to hear about your dad. Obviously, that is a very very serious situation there, man. And obviously our viewers and those that are gonna have the opportunity to watch this, they can reach the management of the Nightly Exchange and see how best we can, you know what I mean, how best we can facilitate in giving our low helping hand, man, to facilitate the whole process. But hey, Liberians, we know we are very generous people, and those that are watching through Facebook lens and YouTube, and if you really think that our brother's story touch your heart, man, please go ahead, reach out and see how best you can do, man. Because at the end of the day, when we're all chipping, we can definitely move a mountain, man. I just hope that those of you that are live with us here, can definitely reach out to myself or either Josh or any other like panelists on this platform that might be that you probably connected with on your network, you can reach out to them and whatever you can support the brother with, you can make the proceeds available to him as soon as time possible. All right, so let's get to it. So Josh, look, you know very well, like bro, news can't finish, like bro. I don't forget it, brother. It can't finish. So I saw this story today that LRA is literally paused to terminate 46 employees. I don't know why, but I mean, apparently this is a investigation that they have going for the past 3 months, and I think it's getting to a space now where they have concluded all of their findings, and they're about to make the move now to really fire all those 46 individuals. So you're talking about 46 individuals now, for 46 family heads that are going to leave without, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many things around that. So what is your position on that, my brother? I mean, 46 people going out of job, and like, bro, a job that is so scarce that you can't find. Losing job like that, my man, especially that number is just staggering. What is your position on that, bro?
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Look, depending on why they are trying to fire them, if they are trying to downsize, then I will see a problem. But if they're trying to fire these guys or these people because of malpractices, I agree because it tells you that once they fire them, they will recruit other people. Other people that are sitting down home will get jobs, and I think it will be a good thing. But if LR is saying that we don't need these positions and we're trying to get rid of these positions because they are not doing anything and we're just paying them for nothing, then I'll have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, I'll have a little bit of a problem because that means that um, 46 people, chance that bad because on average, 20 people in Liberia depend on one person who had a job.
I'll tell
That's the
you.
statistic I will have here. 20 people depend on that one person. So if you turn 45 by 20, man, you are going almost 8,000 persons because I can say 800 and some more persons, right? You are going 800 some more persons. So it is a tough decision to make. But if you guys were involved in fraudulent activities to defraud the government or to because let me tell you, there are so many things that happen in government that lessen our revenue envelope, right? That is they send to it, they say to it, go to the person and go collect money. To it go there and then the people get to a $50. They get to a $50. To it come by and say, oh, the people say they will pay. The people say they will pay. And the time and the money that's supposed to be in government cover that government supposed to use to pay employees, government does not get that money. And that is corruption. So when people are not, they don't cherish their jobs so much that they know that 20 people depend on me and they go do clandestine thing at work. I support that they be dismissed immediately, effectively, because that would send a clear message. I'm a person who would like to send message to people. And if the day I become president of the Republic of Liberia, I will be the sort of person who I will make sure that people are well paid. But if you misbehave in your job, you will lose it and you will never find job again. And that will tell people that you have to take your job, seriously. So if you guys,
Okay, Josh.
if they are being retrenched, then of course I have a problem. But if because of some malpractices, and I support the idea, let them go. Let new people come to play too. The fee is big.
Thank you, Josh. And to just piggyback on some of the stuff that you just did, I think absolutely. If
Oh
they
yeah,
have been fired for bad practices, if they have been fired for like a commenter stated here that they have been fired for some insurance scheme. So if that's something that
yeah.
well,
That's what Lane Lacroix is saying.
right. So if that's that was coming from Lane. So I can't see the name, but I can see the comment. It's weird because
Uh,
I'm actually continuing on my cell phone.
uh,
But if that's the case, then obviously I think that is a rebirth of Liberia where people will not just be allowed to just do anything and
mhm.
without bearing the full weight of that. So that would be what I mean, a very unprecedented number of fire individual. But again, George, I truly agree with you.
Mhm.
to face a system, you need to start making some hard decisions.
Hard decisions. Yeah.
Hard decision, and right. So I know it's not convenient, and a lot of people, like you rightfully stated, a lot of people rely on people, but we can't continue with this cycle because that have not led us to any prosperity. So we
No
need to
way.
change it. People, look, unfortunately, people have to be poor. I mean, even in the great United States that I'm in, George, and you can definitely say the same thing about the Australia that you're at. I mean, with the abundance of other resources and opportunity, there are people there that are poor.
Whoa, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I'm not taking it from your mouth. Yesterday when I was driving, I almost took a video. I almost took a video of this guy who had his shirt tear on about where man. His shirt tear by him. He's small in bed, he walking. That guy is homeless, obviously, the way I saw him. And he's living in Australia.
Yeah.
So
With
your
what I
location,
will,
yeah, sometimes your location does not determine your attitude. You know what I mean?
absolutely, I totally agree.
Yeah. So look, it is what
But
it
I
is.
come to my man Fuchu here. My man, look, obviously you have a total different perspective to this story better than any one of us. You live in a place there. I don't need to tell you how hard it is to be out of job in our country. But what do you make of LRA coming with a decision of firing 46 employees, man? That should be something. I mean, that level of firing, I can remember an agency firing that number of people, bro. But what is your position on that?
Yeah, thank you again for the opportunity. Well, what I would say to this is that, like my brother said, I don't know for which reason they are doing this, but perhaps it could be for a specific reason, but right now it's unknown. I don't know. But knowing that these people are going to be jobless is so sad. It's so sad to know, because looking at the economic system, they're in Liberia right now, the job are very scarce these days, and you sitting there looking at yourself to be shortlisted for downsizing, it actually brings some disheartening situation to your family and that of yourself. Um, what I would say in another angle is that when you are opportune to work with an entity, you should also have an integrity. And having an integrity means you should be committed as well to your service, because there are a lot of people who are actually waiting for that job that you have, be it sweeping, be it janitor, be it whatever you security, any level of job that you think you are doing. There are a lot of people that are waiting to really get that for themselves. So when you are given that opportunity to work, you should put your all. So basically, the fact that these people are taking this stand on them or on these people, it is I think it's because of probably they haven't been punctual on their job, or some of them don't have integrity, or they have some integrity problems that the entity cannot understand or cannot continue to bear with them anymore. It is unbearable for the entity. Or it could be another form of, they are not putting their effort, that they are not committed to the services, that has to do with the growth and meeting the need, or the goals of that entity, LRA. So based on that, the entity has to come up with something and say, we will downsize certain people. but it is not with. I don't want to think that it is with that excitement that they are doing it, because there's no entity or government entity will want to sack that amount of people, knowing fully well that people who are working within that entity, that their names are listed among that people, they got family and they got responsibilities. So there will be no way that they will say, "Oh, we are putting these people out because of formality, or we are just doing it because we want to feel because of pleasure." No, they don't want to do that. So in every given organization, as a management, what you do is that you move with the mover, people who want to work, people who want to move forward, people who want to work hard to achieve the growth, to achieve the goal of that particular entity. You work with them, and then you actually leave the people who want to be sleeping, who don't want to move. So that means you always move with the mover and leave the people who want to sleep. So that means if you are getting rid of people, that it means that the people that you are getting rid of, they are of no use, or they are not contributing enough to the growth of that entity. So I just want you to know that, for my own understanding, that the the current issue uh, at the RRA, I don't think it is because of pleasure. The entity is not doing that because of pleasure, but I think they are doing it because maybe the people are not contributing towards the goal of that entity.
So
Another
Kudu,
way again,
yeah, Kudu,
yeah.
just an injection because I think Ture, I think that we got one of our frequent, I don't know, uh, um, commenter who said these two are being dismissed because of insurance fraud. So they submitted medical papers and they got paid the money. You know what I mean? Those medical papers were fake. You know what I mean? That's why they are dismissing them. So let's just narrow our conversation in that area.
Oh, but then so that's it. So we
Yeah.
also, like I was saying, we are saying almost the same thing, based on lack of integrity. That's integrity problem. So if you are working in an entity and
But
you are,
Tato is completely mute. Um,
if if you are working in an entity, and you try to
Just
to
call them.
to bury the image of that entity because you have integrity problem, then I don't think there is a need for you to be there.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So
So
Ture, you
yeah.
back.
So look, basically,
You
look,
want
I like the angle
you
George
want your
took.
laptop now?
Bro, Buju, get me yourself here. You got your line. There you go. So I love the angle both you and George took. George was a little bit kind of empathetic about the whole situation, but also, um, you know, also kind of presenting a very um, professional angle too about it too, right? And as the same approach you came about it too, but you are obviously more like focusing on in as much we try to empathize with people with the economic situation. Obviously, it is not a good thing for someone to be losing his or her job, you know, on these pressing circumstances. But hey, like the late Kobe Bryant once put it, job not finished. There's always other job on the other side you can do. Go find something else. I've been the kind of person, I really don't feel sorry for people losing government job. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, because I just feel like a country like what 5-6 million population, bro. Everybody's entitled to work for that country. If you go there and for whatever reason you are not able to maintain your job, there's somebody else there too waiting to serve their country. So what a politician, family members, you lose your job, brother, go hustle to someplace else. Better yet, go in the bush, go chop down some woods and make coal, like do something. But that is my position on that. But I go to Bratato. Bratato, you ain't joining us, my man. What's up with you? My man, your background looking sharp. Like someone who in a brand new relationship, my man. Bratato, can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
I said last time you people said that my background is deep or this, that, you people can see me. So today I work on it.
You work on a camera, right?
You're a good listener. You're a good listener. You did what we asked for. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good, man. But bro, Tatos, what is your position on LRA firing 46 employees, bro? That number is kind of astronomical.
Yeah, I saw certain things like that running on social media. They said they want to fire about 40 for misconduct. But these are some of the things that we'll wait to see the reason why they want to fire the people. Misconduct, maybe probably we don't know. It should be criminal, but there are so many things that maybe it may come up, but we didn't know the actual story of it. So for me, for my own of saying, I can just woke up and say it until I wait, they fire them, and then because you can't fire someone without giving a reason. There must be a reason. You get me? So we wait to see the reason why they fire for the manpower. That's not possible. So we wait to see the reason.
Okay, so Tato not going far. Tato say, my man, I'm talking in here. Let the people give a justifiable reason as to why these people got to go.
Sure.
Obviously, we got coming to our brother Lane Lacrosse did. So I mean, they were involved in insurance fraud or something like that. I mean, those are all justifiable reasons why someone should lose their job. If you're gonna get yourself caught up in any kind of scheme or anything like that, then obviously I don't feel sorry for people like that. But like George said, if it was something about downsizing or something, oh wow, I'm talking about $75 medical fraud. Yeah, man. Wow. But yeah, man, like George said, you still have to preserve ethics. You still have to, preserve integrity on the job. So if it's a full-blown conclusion that these guys were involved in anything of such, then obviously that justify the firing of the entire team, man. You can't adjudicate anything like that. You cannot in any way try to build any kind of moral support, for that kind of act. Because when you do that, you set a precedent for other people that will come back. You know what I mean? Anybody now that coming to that entity, that person is coming out with absolute laser focus kind of attitude that, what, if you do this, yeah, you're going. So then by doing this, they are also preserving the sanity of the entity. But let's get back to the next story. This story probably be our last story for the night. So Liberia and Rwanda have this proclamation of visa free. So if you are in Liberia right now and you get money to travel to Rwanda, all you need to do is just get yourself a plane ticket with your travel document, and you can catch on a flight to Rwanda. How incredible that is! I mean, you can't beat that. Opening opportunity for people to go to school, social networking, obviously, giving people opportunity to explore the beauty of Rwanda through their diversity, so there's a lot of opportunity there. So, I mean, let's start with you, brother Puchu. What this has to do, like, which kind of opportunity do Liberia stand to gain with this visa-free arrangement between Liberia and Rwanda? How can students benefit medical? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can even go to Rwanda for medical care. But let me hear from you. What are some of the potentials?
Yeah, thank you very much again. Well, it's a plus to Liberia. It's a plus to every young man, young woman who wants to advance themselves, who wants to do exploits in maybe traveling, who want to get traveling ideas, who really want to travel to Rwanda. There are a lot of people that really want to travel to Rwanda, and these are some of the development that we're talking about when it comes to government putting their feet on the ground to make sure that their citizens benefit one way or the other. This could be this could be another way of one of the least men um getting opportunity within his country or within her country when this when he or she tried to apply for such opportunity and seeing him or herself uh, 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 successful to travel to the great Rwanda. Honestly, I must say the president of Liberia is doing very well along with his team. They are trying to network with, with, with great countries, African countries around us, um, even other countries that we don't know yet, but he he's trying to do his best to make sure that his people feel the impact of development, that the least man in the least part of Liberia will be able to feel the development that he is doing. That's why you always talk about think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia. This is what we are talking about. Because if you are thinking Liberia and loving Liberia and building Liberia, these are some of the things that you're going to think about. For typical example, if I want to go to school now in Rwanda and I don't have to how you call it, go through the process of visa and other stuff, I could just take my maybe get my passport and get my plane ticket and fly straight to Rwanda for studies once I have the ticket money. So I think it's a plus for the country. It's a plus for the government of Liberia, the current government. I think they
Okay.
are doing well, and I want them to continue to do what they are doing. And in as much as they are doing these things for the Liberian people, I would say that we will continue to support this government. Even 2029, we will support them. Even the next election after 2029, we will support them because this is what
Okay.
we want to see.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Brother Puchu. So look, Josh, obviously you've been traveling around the world. You've been traveling to, through your days with the United Nations. Um, but I do understand too, you know, at least for a student or at least a researcher or any professional person, I think leaving your comfort zone and traveling in other places kind of expand your your horizon, if you will. Um, and Guy in Heavy knows how much of that outside exposure do young people in Liberia need? And it can't just be limited to Ghana, right? I mean, adding Rwanda to that just kind of, expand on our horizon. But what are some of the benefits, Josh? I'll ask you the same question. What are some of the potential of this visa-free arrangement between Liberia and Rwanda?
Look, there's a really good potential, and as I speak, as of today's date, Liberia has 67 countries visa free around the world. One of the places that I myself, when I used to travel on Liberian passport, I used to like to go. There was Singapore with visa free. For 90 days, you can stay in Singapore as a Liberian and do whatever you want to do. If you want to attend school there, it's a different thing. You have to apply for that student
Right.
visa. Yep. And I'm sure I haven't seen, the agreement between Liberia and Rwanda, but I think there was some stipulation. You can just walk in the whole country and stay there forever. They said visa free. They didn't say immigration free. You know what I mean?
So
So
you
for
say stay
different
free, eh?
yeah, this is stay free. Let's say when you pack all your Satuga now and go to the Bokon and go stay there. No, that's not it. If you want to go there because visa free, usually they have time limit for the visa. So even for us here in Australia, if we are going to America, we don't need to apply for visa. We just go online and book our things. But when we get there, we can spend 90 days in the country in America without requiring any visa, right? But if you want to stay beyond that time, you have to apply for visa and they will say no or yes. Why? So that's what it is. So I want to commend the Liberian government for this. I think it's trying to increase our scope. You know what I mean? The opportunities that are available to Liberians. There were 66 countries. Now there's 67 countries. Who knows? Maybe before this regime comes to an end, we'll have maybe 80 countries that we can go to free visa free for a certain amount of time. That would be a good thing. However, the reason why we are paying a lot of bills or a lot of money to enter Liberia, even from Ghana, now to leave Liberia to go to Ghana is almost $700. Yeah, it's almost $700. The reason why it's $700 because more people are not leaving Liberia to travel because they don't have money to travel. So you got only few people coming. So that's why you pay that $700 because the people want to recover their fuel. They want to cover the pilot fees where they can pay the pilot the salary. They want to recover the food you can eat on the air, something there, and they want to cover the processes that are in the plane there. And you know, jet fuel is one of the most expensive fuel in the world. So when no jobs in Liberia, you can make America accessible. You can make Canada, Australia, all the places visa free. If we cannot get money to buy plane ticket, we're not going to leave that country. So what we want the government to do also, while they are doing this, we applaud them. We want to make sure that they can provide jobs in the country. Let foreign direct investment should be something that they prioritize, not to just go out there and say, can all people come visit your visa free? They say yes, then they agree they will get. We want jobs in our own country so that our own country can be a place where we feel relaxed and we feel that we can get money to go anywhere. These places, most of the visa free places are for you to go and have holiday. And you know why? The people are smart. The reason they are making visa free because when you go there, you don't get hostel, you pay hotel. And guess what? Working in the hotel, there are people working in the hotel. They're making money. When the hotel there, nobody inside it. The workers there will not make money. The person who get a hotel will close the hotel down, right? But when they made a visa free, they don't say, oh, people will come. So people come, they go in a hotel, they pay $150 US a night. The person that paid the hotel getting the money back, and the people that working at hotel getting the money back. So all this is all common sense. So I hope Liberia too can reciprocate these things and make the Americans to say they need visa on arrival, at least Australian visa on arrival, because here we got to send our passport all the way to America for them to stamp put visa inside to go to Liberia before we go to our own country. So let them make sure that we have these things set up so that Liberia can move forward. But I want to applaud them for this. I think it's trying to increase our horizon to see the available places we can go to around the world, which is a good thing. I want to commend them. But also, they should not forget the most important thing is to create jobs for Liberians so that we can feel comfortable in our own home. We're going to feel the beggars. We cannot be working for the money man who run away from war in your country and will be working for them in your own country.
All right, George. Thank you very much. That was my man. Not to even go back trying to lay premises because la Bremen are premises. But look, Tato, obviously, you live in Liberia. You obviously see exactly that there are a lot of young professionals in the country. You know, after school, there's nothing to do. Some of them resort to drugs and all that stuff like that. But having them the opportunity to even travel outside of the country and go get, you know, because one thing I know for a fact is that when you travel, if you not come with money, you'll come with wisdom. You know, so at least traveling like that can actually change people's perspective. You know, that's why I always tell people, always, whatever opportunity show for you to travel, leave that space because your current scenery, you have exploited everything in there. There's nothing you can learn from that area now if you have not subjected yourself to learn anything. But once you leave that comfort zone and go into a different space, I mean, everything becomes like a new brand thing for you. And some of whom you can even exploit from that place and bring it back to your home country. That's why it's so important for people to travel. So Tatos, I mean, with the whole opportunity now, what do Liberia stand to gain, my man?
Yeah, let
They
me
posted
translate.
free, they posted free, visa free, but it didn't say stay free, my man.
Yeah, let me translate. Say congratulations to the government for what they've been
And
doing.
Morris, welcome, my man.
Yeah, for what they've been doing, and we'll continue telling them that whatsoever good things that they have doing, we'll continue telling them to thank you. You know, it's a very important thing that we the Lebron have to understand that to live from here to get your free visa. Like there are some people who won't go to school, who do different trade. If you get an opportunity to go there free, despite we don't know whether how they will doing it to stay there and other stuff. But it's a welcoming, and we will continue telling the government thank you for that. You know, these are some of the things. Sometimes when you get a responsible government or responsible people in power, there are so many good things that they will do. But whenever you have all or irresponsible, there are so many things, there are so many opportunity. Like what Joe Walker said in 2017 that we squander so many opportunity. And now coming or being for him being in power now as a president, the opportunity that was squandered, now he making use out of it for the brown people to feel that, oh yes, what Joe Walker said in 2017 that there are a lot of opportunities squandered during our 12 years, it coming to pass. So I welcome it, and I will continue telling the government or the president, Joe Weah, and also the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Besto Nyanti, for that application, for them doing all those things to be possible. So we welcome the government on that.
Well, thank you so very much, brother Tatos. So at the end of the day, man, look, I mean, government, the whole essence of government is to bring opportunity to people, right? You know, get people busy, get them engaged with stuff that way not only enhance their economic growth, but their professional growth as well. Giving them opportunity to experience outside of the scope of their imagination. Morris, my man, welcome. So basically,
Yeah, my
this
man.
is
My man, what happened? You lost. You lost on the show. What happened?
my man. You see me on the show, and say I lost.
But how many days you up here on the show, man?
Yeah, my
Oh,
man.
oh,
Eric was as a Megan to all.
that plan. When the chief host appear, then the co-host can appear. When the co-host appear, then the chief host. Okay, no problem.
Maybe
My
that's
Now, no.
Nah,
maybe that's schedule doing.
Yeah.
now you not start with your conspiracy theories again. Anyway,
No, see.
we have
But
that conversation another day. Have that
but anyway,
conversation.
I mean, I don't know whether I can just pick it up from right here, or I can keep on what you guys were talking about the 46 employee, or I can just take it from right here. Which one?
I mean, just take it from where we are right now. Then we can come back and you can have a low
Yeah,
speed.
no problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. You see, I would just caution my brother titles. You know, sometimes when these things happen, we should not always be political. You know, yeah, that all the government, the other people were look. That Liberia is Liberia. Sometimes let's just take it from right there. You know, the idea of coming or other people were irresponsible, they didn't do it, this and that. Sometimes it's not really necessary. But you know,
Cannot get caught today, so he carry away lean.
but you know, I mean, it's a good thing. Bilateral relationship is always a good thing. And, you know, the fact that two countries can come together to say, look, you can come to my country free, and I can also come to your country free, is a good thing. It's very good. It only shows that we can work together in many ways. We can work in many ways. And, you know, we all know what Rwanda is today. Rwanda is one of the most progressive countries today, not just in Africa, but in the world. So for Rwanda, for country, remember you go? What the host said? For a country like Rwanda to come up to say, you know, you're free to come in our country. I mean, it opens door. People can go there to go to school, to learn, you know, so it's always good. It only shows that Liberia is making progress. And, you know, for the fact that Rwanda can even say, look, come in my country, come and explode, come and learn, come and do something. We also can, because visa free is not just Rwandan can also too come to Liberia free without visa. So it's both ways. It's not only that only Liberians can go to Rwanda. Rwanda too can come in Liberia as well. And, you know, and I heard the brother saying that they didn't say go and live there. I don't think there's any country where they can just say come and live here free. If people want to go to Rwanda, as much as it is visa free, but when you go, you pass through the procedure. Yeah, they have their own procedure as to whether you want to stay there. As much as you can get a visa free, even today, America, if America say visa free, even you can come, they're telling you to come and live in America. They're only telling you you can come in America without going through any bureaucracy of, you know, obtaining a visa. But when you come to the country, you want to stay now, then there's a different process that you have to go through. So it's just, but it's a good thing for the overall. It's a good thing for Liberia and Rwanda to have a visa free, you know, agreement. It's good. I mean, George, you can take it from there, though, because the man, I don't know where the man gone.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah, but you wanted to say something about the 46 person, so then you can emphasize on it. Wow.
That's us. You're not the host, man. Come on.
Sorry.
Morris, go ahead, my brother. Yeah, you want to say something about the for the
Yeah.
dismissed for LRA, please go ahead.
Yeah, quick. You know, and I actually agree with you. I will listening to it briefly. I actually agree with you. Look, we cannot continue to indulge, and, you know, corruption or bad habits, so to say, in you know, in the name of people need job because of peace, and that's why they continue to bury the country today. When people misstep, they should pay for it. I listened to the ARA commission, and he said these people, you know what they did? Quickly, they had, I think, insurance, medical insurance, where they're supposed to benefit. What they were doing, they will go and bring false, you know, receipt from the hospital, and the company will pay them. That's what they've been doing. 46 of them. They will go. They got insurance at $75. You get 3 persons, including you 4 persons. So each one of them will go to the hospital. They bring false, whatever they used to get it from. They bring false receipt that they get the money from. They went to the hospital, and the company, the ARA, will reimburse them $300 plus. Every 2 weeks they used to do it. Almost like every 2 weeks that people used to get sick from there. Can you imagine that? And the people discover it. These are the people that are raising revenue for our country. They involve in the kind of thing. So, I mean, when you're reckless, sometimes you pay for your recklessness. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, there's no something.
Now, what all they used to do, look at insuring all they trying to do fraud with it. Then how they were doing our collection of our money. Let them go.
Imagine that. Yeah, imagine that.
Let them go. It's their own stupidity.
So basically, Morris, thank you very much for even bringing a broader perspective to this whole thing, because I just saw the story, but I did not. I mean, the story did not in any way give me a chance to, or at least they did not provide that much of a detail like you did. And our brother Lin Lakbo, actually, he said it was something that have to do with medical fraud.
That's
in line with what you just discussed.
Well, that's the same thing. Yeah, that's the same thing.
But these, right.
But
these
quickly, I just want to say something quickly concerning this visa-free, guys. I was just doing my research and I found out that there is a country right next to Australia here who got visa-free with it. They call it Cook's Island. You can get there 31 days visa-free when you reach the when you get out. You stamp your passport visa-free, and you can arrange to stay there. And guess what? Most of the people in the Cook Island who are citizens of the Cook Island, they can come to Australia visa-free. So it's just something that you think about it and do.
So I tell you what, you're absolutely right. I think that
yeah, Cook Islands, yeah, they're visa-free for Liberia. So think about it, guys.
Right. So that's that. Yeah, but just to finish up what I was on. So medical fraud is one of the biggest, even in America here. Insurance fraud, forget it, man. That's something like you can't do that. That is absolutely wrong. I mean, you can't do any fraud, by the way. You know, no fraud, man. Just do, man. You can't be doing that. There's no gain in that. People losing money. Money that should be going to other agency, money that should be going to, you know, to serving the larger population, but corporate projects, just doing the stuff with that. That's not cool at all. But yeah, gentlemen, look, we know very well that we live in a country where everything is politicized, and for all of the right reasons. This is not, you know, like a JMB administration thing happening throughout President George Manamia thing. And even Madame Salif actually talking about contemporary politics in Liberia now. I guess we can all start from Madame Ellen Stein in this whole digital space now, right? With Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff now. Things happening right in our face. But we you know, I don't know, man. If some of you want to have a spin on it, but I will. But look, something happened here yesterday. I mean, meaning in America, yeah, right. You know, a young man was shot. You know, a young man, Charlie Kirk, actually was shot at a university ground. You know, there's a lot of story behind it, right? A lot of people are saying, oh, it was a hit. You know, like people are blaming the left, the right. People are blaming Democrats, people are blaming Republicans, people are blaming all of this stuff. And the reason why I'm saying this is because everything we do in Liberia is a direct replica to what we do in America here, right? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, people having a right to have opposing views, and that is obviously some of the ingredient of democracy. But the young man, he was absolutely someone that was deeply entrenched into saying some of the worst thing that any human being would say, right? Talking about how slavery was, you know, like there shouldn't be no reparation. You know, Martin Luther King was a fraud. You know, civil right was something that shouldn't have even existed. You know, he said a lot of things. Like even when George Floyd got killed by a police officer kneeling on his neck for 13 minutes, 36 seconds, he said George Floyd did not die of the police officer kneeling on his neck, but rather George Floyd died because of drugs overdose. You know what I mean? So he said so many things. He even went ahead talking about empathy. He said the word empathy should be sort of like a sponge from a dictionary. You know, he said empathy is not something, you know, like no one should. I mean, he said a lot of stuff. So my thing is, looking at everything that guy did, talk about, DEA, right? Like different thing. Bro, I mean, just go and do your own research.
DIA.
Right. So My thing is, where do we draw the line? Should we draw the line on free speech, where people should have the right to say anything they want to say? I mean, or and last one before you guys can come in. You know, we have a gun problem in this country. Anybody that lives in the States know very well that gun violence is something that is absolutely unalarming right now. There are guns everywhere. And this guy, he was a First Amendment. He was a
Second Amendment.
Thank you, Lynn Lacroix. DER, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, he was Second Amendment absolutist. I mean, this guy went ahead saying, we got miracle here for where I'm at in Pennsylvania, a city like Philadelphia. On average, yearly, 500 persons will be killed, bro, or 600, 700 through gun violence on an annual basis. That is just one city. Then you think about Chicago, right, and other places like Camden, California. So you talk about all of that. This guy said that it is unfortunate, but some people have to die to protect the Second Amendment. Because the Second Amendment is what gave you right to bear arms and all of that stuff. So this guy said it is okay for people to die to preserve the right of the Second Amendment. So I mean, look, I mean, what is your position on it, bro? A sniper yesterday took his life directly. So let's talk about George.
Yeah, Ture, I got a really big take on this one. And thank you for bringing it up. And I thought we're not going to discuss it, but I'm so happy. I agree with this guy 100%. He talked about one of the, I follow him for almost 3 years, and I agree with most of the things he says. These are the things that people are afraid to say that he says. Because we have come to a world where you got to be politically correct. If you're not politically correct, you fear that you lose supporters, you fear that you lose the popular vote, so you can't say these things. He's 100% right. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms in America. So he said his argument was, if you want to protect the Second Amendment, right, then the sacrifice of people being killed, why it's unfortunate, it is acceptable, so that because he said you cannot give everybody gun, then you expect nobody to die from gun. Because it's your right to have gun. But then you say, even though everybody get gun, but nobody will die from gun. He said, so to protect that right for you to bear arms, certain people will die. And why it's unfortunate, that's the reality. And I agree with him. And one more thing he said, a black man is more likely to kill a black man than a police to kill a black man. I agree. Go to Chicago, black people, black Americans get gun, they kill each other because of drugs. But then when one policeman kill one black person in the street, for me, it's common sense. But people fail to learn these things. And when somebody say it, they just look at it. Because guess what? One of the things we are very quick to do is to put on the race card. Oh, they person against black people. Look, I have worked among many black people. In most cases, I'm the only black man in the companies that are working, and usually in high level. And I understand that black person get different culture with white person. So to fit in a white culture, it will take time for you. So more often we feel that because we're black, so they don't want to put us there. No, there's certain culture. Guess that the white man, when he come to our village, when we brush fire in the morning, he doesn't know what we're doing. It will take time for him to learn it. That's the same with the black people when we come in the white people culture. It will take time for us to know the nitty-gritty of their culture, how they do things, how they do things, how they greet people, even if you shake hands. In this country, in Australia, when you shake somebody's hand and you hold the person's hand tight, the person thinks differently of you, that you get bad man for them, or you're disrespectful. You have to hold that hand tight and look them in the face. Look them in the eye. When you're shaking someone's hand, when you do that, the way in Liberia, when you're shaking people's hand, you can do that. They get feel that you disrespecting them. So cultures are different. And this guy, for me, I agree with most of the things he said. Everything he said was things that we are afraid to say and things that make our world now to be in a place where we now accept gay rights. because of the same empathy. Oh yeah, that the person, I don't accept it. I agree with you to do it. I don't accept it. I'll never look at my child or boy child who I get to come to me and say, I get child now. Then I say, yeah, that's true, you get child. I will not be lying to you. I will tell you, you are God gave me boy child. If you choose to be a get child, that's your business. I will not accept it. I agree with you, go and take it and do your thing, but I don't accept it. And that's what child is true for. Charlie will say, you will tell you the truth.
George, 30 seconds.
Yeah, and let me conclude. Charlie was completely on the money, on the point. I really wish that people like Charlie would live in his world, make the world a better place. I see people are rejoicing, people are doing this and that. Charlie said it. He said to protect the Second Amendment rights to bear arms, the sacrifice is that we lose some people every year. And that could be acceptable to protect that right. And if you don't look at it keenly, if you don't study it keenly, you just say that, oh, you want people to die, you agree for people to die. No. Is that you say, if you say want to get gun, how you get gun? You say nobody must die from gun.
No, I think, okay, George, thank you very much.
No, when somebody can attack you, you can kill the person too.
All right, George, thanks.
That's why you get it right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So basically, George, you definitely had so a lot of takes on that. So yeah, he did say, I mean, he made some incendiary, absolutely nerve-wracking statements. But we're not going to digest all that tonight. Let's get to brother Putu. So basically, I know if you want to have a spin on this, you may, but I don't know how much how much you have done knowing at least about this guy. But young man at the age of 31 did not have any kind of consideration for common sense gun laws. All what we are preaching for. I mean, we are not saying the Second Amendment should be absolutely thrown out of the Constitution. Yeah, it is right for you to bear arms in America, but we're talking about common sense gun laws where someone that is mentally ill cannot have access to guns, because we have the tendency of people taking guns to go to schools, like shoot out an entire elementary school. And most often the people, when they are captured or something like that, it's almost like, oh, they probably have mental problem. So if you're gonna have mental problem, then there should be absolutely no incentive for you to carry a gun, right? And this Charlie guy, he didn't want to get none of that. He didn't want any restriction. Anybody can just go to. So imagine if you're in Labrador where you can just get up and go to Jetty store and just go buy a gun. I'm talking about high capacity weapon like AK-47, AR-15. You just buy that, or your son turning 18 years old, you just go and buy the begin. So go and give to him. I cannot do any country, my man. So what is your position on the whole thing?
Yeah, bro. What I would say to this, I think it is sad to know that America, the greatest country, will not be able to curtail the aspect of gun laws, or to come down hard on people carrying guns with them. They allow people to just carry guns because gun is their protection, and forgetting the rights of human. It is so sad. I have a story. Back then, I think in 2019, my older sister in the States lost her daughter because of the same thing. Yeah, and her daughter, but just a 16-year-old girl. She and they speaking in the same school, and they're speaking. Uh, saw her, I think, messing with one other picking in the school too. So he got mad. He went home, took the father gun, came on campus, and then he shot the girl.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for no reason. And up to today's date, the woman just lost her daughter for nothing. So
Nice.
these are, I don't see a reason for these things to be happening. Honestly, I mean, there should be a restriction, if and only if the government wants these things to happen. There should be a restriction on it, and there should be a restriction, high restriction on it, because if the law says it, the law should have an exception, and exception should be something that people gonna the majority gonna agree upon, and not just few people. So from my end, I think that's all I can say on this. But it's so sad to hear this. Yeah, it's so sad.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you for your perspective. So, Morris, I mean, you already know, you already got opinion on this. But I know for a fact, you know, when Malcolm X said the chicken has come home to roast, you know, they say, I mean, if you someone who's sort of like fending violence and stuff like that, don't be surprised if that act come to visit you. The assault weapon that was used on that guy, I'm not gonna, you know, like speculate about anything, but that was some kind of technical weapon, bro. Talking about someone sitting 200 feet away. I mean, you don't need to have civilian walking in a street having no kind of arsenal with them, having no kind of weapon with them. I mean, this guy was lecturing college students. This dude, according to what the FBI and the CIA and Homeland Security and all of that security, you know, got on top of the roof, my man. How can someone sit on top of a roof 200 feet away and draw their target and pinpoint hit them right on the neck? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about here. So, Morris, my man, we got children in school here, my man. My daughter just started school. You know, every day, this is the worry of every parent. Go ahead, Morris.
You know, yeah, you know, I will start on a soft note. Look, it's like if you have a father that got 10 children, out of that 10 children, their reactions will not be the same. Somebody can wake up every morning and call that father, every morning just calls that father. Maybe 5 or 6 of those 10 children will say, you know what, that man a crazy man, man. We don't get time for that man. Let that man go ahead. But maybe 1 or 2 will just wake up one day and say, you know what happened? I think enough is enough. Since you crazy, I will send you to the crazy camp. It gets enough is enough. Look, freedom of speech, but there's no absolute freedom. There's nowhere where there's absolute freedom. Nowhere in the world where there's absolute freedom, where you can just speak just because they say freedom of speech. Freedom of speech are guided. Even in America, yeah. If you go stand to World Trade Center or probably Pentagon and say, I'm recruiting people for ISIS, you think they will not arrest you? They will arrest you some money. So there's no absolute freedom. This young guy, he said a lot. Look, it's not just about the gun amendment issue. No, there are a whole lot of stuff that the guy will talk about. He was there talking about the blacks in a more derogatory manner. He said there are more blacks people in jail because the blacks are criminals. There are more because they don't stay with the blacks when they born children. They don't stay with their mother. They grew up in a gangster. He said a whole lot of things. The guy was xenophobic. The guy was the guy was racist. The guy said a whole lot of stuff. He was just going around speaking loosely in the name of freedom of speech. How can a man sit and say the children are dying in Gaza, the thousands of children are dying in Palestine? The children deserve to die because why? Their parents will be terrorists. How can a sound human being speak like that? He said those children deserve to die because their parents will be terrorists. And when they grow, they said to can be terrorists. How can you speak like that? Look at the George Floyd issue. You see how the guy spoke on that thing. People are bawling in their heart, they're grieving. He's speaking like that, just going around speaking loosely. I mean, it is sad because nobody deserves to die in the form and manner in which he died, because it's graphic. Nobody deserves to die in that manner. But to be honest, look, if you sit and say somebody child deserve to die, it's just a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, you know. And he was not even guarded. He was not even conscious, because for you to be just speaking loosely, you should also consider your own security. Nobody goes around just speaking loosely. He's speaking against a group of people. The blacks, they have millions of people. The other group, the Palestinian group, he was talking about, they got millions of people. There are a whole lot of people he's speaking against that. You think everybody will just sit and fold their hand and continue to fold their hand? No, it doesn't happen that way. And you talk about the blood, you talk about the reparation, he doesn't even know. The blacks are the only people that did not get reparation in America here. They after the Second World War, the Jews, in fact, people are saying that was the foundation of the Jews in America. Because when after the Second War, when they came to America, they gave them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
When the white people, the Europeans, came to get people from Africa, did they fight war with the people to kill them, or our own people sold our people to slavery? They sold them, right? They got things for exchange, right?
What is the
transatlantic slave trade? No, if you want reparation, that means you were conscripted or you were forced to go into where you went into. But if you were bought, your people got benefit for you to go there. Why are we fighting for reparation? That's my concern. I just want to get
Judge, you know what brought the reparation issue? I'm trying to tell you that all of them came. The blacks came, the Jews came, the Asian came, but the Jews and the Asian, they got reparation, they got money, they paid them. And there are people even saying that was the foundation of the Jews in America, because when they came, they give them money. They paid them, they give them money, but unlike the blacks, they started from scratch. So that's the point I'm making. They started from scratch. So, I mean, it is sad. He's a young guy, under 31 years. His kids might be very young. His wife, probably they got nothing to do with this. While all the running around, will go around talking loosely, they absolutely got nothing to do with it. So they're going through the pain. But again, look, when you live a life, in 10 seconds, when you live a life, you're not only living your life for yourself, you live your life for you and your children and everybody that are connected to you. I say this all the time, even the life we're living today, I don't want to do something tomorrow where 30 years ago or 50 years, somebody come in, attack my child. This is the thing that your father was doing, and my child or my grandchildren got to struggle to defend that. Why? But they got nothing to do with it. So we got to be careful with our own life. This guy, it is sad the way he died. It is very sad. But again, people are hurt. You can't continue speaking to people. You can't continue hurting people. You think everybody will just sit and continue to fold their hand. No, it will not happen that way. It is sad, but it's just a mere fact.
And besides, you're also benefiting from some of those rhetorics.
Oh, well, that for sure. That for sure. That for sure.
It was not just he just being that. He was benefiting from. I'm pretty sure.
How was he benefiting?
I'm pretty sure.
That for sure. That one.
My man, look, tell how you are benefiting. I want to know myself. I want to learn. That's why we're here.
I'm pretty sure.
But you can't say put a show you are benefiting, but you know how you are benefiting.
Okay,
is it for going viral on Instagram or on TikTok? And they pay you that what you mean, or which one? Or they were paying you for
George.
I will come in after Tata's turn.
Yeah, it could be trying to get influence. Probably he's trying to get more influence. That's it.
Tatos, go ahead,
It
brother.
can't mean the people that he can, people that agree with him. But
George,
people that agree with him, that can influence. You getting me?
Man,
But go
George,
ahead.
that leader team, my man. Just lead that
let
team. We don't want
Tatos
to go there
finish.
too. We don't want to go too deep into that team.
I see Lane Lacroix control about government getting people right. And that government made a law for them to get going. He said
But
they
George,
get them the
that
right
Lane
to
Lacroix,
come against the government.
let Tatos
That
finish
government
first.
will right to come against them.
But
I
George,
mean,
winner.
all
Let
of us.
Tatos
Yeah, go
finish
ahead.
first.
Sorry, go ahead,
Let
guys.
Tatos
Sorry.
finish.
Yeah.
Tatos, go
All
ahead,
right.
man.
All right. For that, I don't have much to say on
I
that.
know.
But
I know.
everything happened. It happened for a reason. Even the Bible says it. It said if we can die before their time.
Mm.
Yes.
But
If
who?
we can. It no. I'm speaking the Pope side.
I know,
The,
brother.
he said.
No, I said, go ahead, I know.
Jesus died.
Yeah.
Which year Jesus died? How old was Jesus when he died?
It's asking me, coach, man, finish team, man.
I just want to know.
Hey, George, wait. Let me end.
Go
All
ahead.
right. It's a freedom of speech, but it doesn't mean that you should go beyond the law. So probably the men know they know the reason, or God know the reason why it happened. So like I said, I don't have much on that to say, but I give it back to you.
So, Giorgio, let me ask you a question.
The man living in Liberia, so he ain't got much to say about it.
Let me ask Josh. Josh,
Yeah, go ahead.
when you talk about, when you say slavery was a choice, like what do you mean?
Slavery was a choice. So the Europeans came to the shores of Africa, especially those areas that were bounded by the Atlantic Ocean. And they came here and said, "We bring salt." The chief then went and tasted the salt. Said, "What?" He said, "But we want people to go work on our farm." Jumbo, what are other policemen here? You're bringing here. You're telling when you're giving the salt. That's how. Guess what? When the children started finishing, they started going into the bushes, fighting war with the other people to capture them and come and sell them. That's what will happen.
Okay.
I did a slave trade. Yeah, I did transatlantic slave trade. I studied that and thanks be to him. My former instructor, he's still there. So this thing, you were not conscripted, not like you were forced.
So it was
People
choice.
voluntarily gave their children or gave their kinsmen or gave their prisoner of war to these people to go and work on their farms. So
how can it be a choice then? If somebody were captured, right? Prisoner of war. You just said prisoner of war.
Europeans did not come and capture them. I'm telling you,
I understand that way now,
yeah.
George.
So yeah, it was still a choice because these people made up to sell their own people, their children, their nephews, their people to slavery.
So it was not their choice to be captured. Neither was it their choice to be hand over to slave masters. Right? It was done against their will.
People
and I understand
their interests, so then it was slavery. That's what I'm trying to say.
You just said that when people around them kind of like, when they were low in supply, they started to go in the bushes, raging war on other villages and stuff like that. I too studied the whole ordeal. But when you say it's a choice, it's like people that were enslaved, they voluntarily walked there and made themselves. But people capture them. Warlords capture them. Kings capture them, capture their subjects, and sold them into slavery. That was not their choice. They were captured against their will.
Yeah, Ture. Let me just modernize it.
So how can you say that was a choice?
So they can see the essence in it now, right? Okay, let's say for example, you apply for American visa. American people say they don't want people that 65-year-old above. They want people from 65-year-old down for them to immigrate to America. And then you say, "Oh yeah, I qualify as a 25-year-old, so I come and go." The American people before they can issue visas to people, they say, "What about jobs we get here that our traditional people don't want to do? Either picking fruit or taking care of sick people or taking care of people, disabled people. And we got these type of jobs here. And we don't have anybody to do them. We allow these people to come, right? So they go, you apply, you come, you go in the country, you start to work, fulfilling the needs of America, and also getting something for yourself and your people back home. This is the modern slavery we are talking about. The same way it was done in the past. You were willing to sell your person, guess what? Because you want something from the white people that come. The white people did not force you.
So in
They
that,
still want to go work on our farms. They still want to get people to work on our farms. We got saw, we got money, we got poke.
yes,
You
so
see
George,
you sell your people. Yeah,
modern day,
is
those
the
are
same
coming
thing.
here. Those are coming here under those conditions. They are making a choice to come here. But those that are captured, put on board, put them
They were
on
not
lead.
captured. I was trying to tell you, they were not
No,
captured.
but that's when now do not conflict both. You telling you just told us, America saying they're not giving 60 euro visa to come to their country. But if you go and say, oh, you 60, but then you say you 32, and you make your way any kind of way you find say in the country, you put yourself under that condition. You come here, they're not forcing you to come here. They're not going there to go put boat somewhere and drag you only to bring you here. You applying for that visa, you come here. So that is a different situation. But I'm talking about, when we talk about when we talk about giving people what they deserve, right? Like, how do you call the word, Morris? How do you call the word?
Reparation.
Reparation. Yeah, I could not get out of my head for some reason. Reparation. Every other group that came here, like the Chinese constructed all of the railroad system in the country. I mean, talking about if you look at the I-95, you're talking about all the interstate highways and stuff in this country. The Chinese were the one that built those institutions, right? Those people were giving a share. When you go to every major state in America, there's Chinatown. You know, the Italians were giving their own. The Irish Americans were giving their own. Black people that have been here almost 300 years, people that built this country, they were not giving anything. And when they decided to group themselves and build any community, guess what? Those communities were bombed. They were bombing them. So Black people have, so when you sit there, especially not you, not George, but the young man, say the kind of thing that he kept saying, that was absolutely wrong. And I'm not saying he deserved to be gone down because of that, but you can see how that can actually play a part. You know?
Yeah, but Ture,
but let's just leave it at that.
yeah, but Ture, no, but Ture, in 30 seconds. I think this is misinformation, but regarding the Atlantic trade stuff, it's not so. If you really retrospect the origination of the Atlantic trade, you will not even say that, brother. It was not optional. It was not something that was a choice. These people went to Africa, especially Africa. They harassed the people there. They captured the people. They put over 400 million people died from out of that Atlantic trade. Something you're talking about. Until the Western world even have to confess, they apologize. That you say the people, what, it was a choice? No, it was not a choice. They went there, they harassed, they captured the people, they killed the people right there. You say it was a choice, brother? It was not a choice. That's not true.
So I'm telling you now that when I started slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, it was the white people coming to Africa and telling the people that they needed people to go to work on their farm. And instead they gave them guns. So they gave one single barrel, they gave one person. So
how the white people even enter? How the white people even enter Africa? You think they enter Africa? You think they enter all part of Africa peacefully?
I mean, maybe
Let's
he
move
did
on,
make
man.
history. Maybe he did make history that the European went to Africa, they fought war.
Some African
African did not even have gun. How will you fight one person? Let me tell you, in Africa, in Liberia, for instance, when the slaves returned to Liberia, that's when war was fought between the slaves and the people, the settlers. We used to call them settlers at the time. They put that they took the ship, the article said they returned to Africa that was on the Providence Island there.
The
These are the people that
settlers.
because they wanted to conquer the other people, they started fighting the Bassa people, they fighting the Kru people, so that they could conquer them and be and annex it and be part of them as Liberia, which was whatever it was called. But the thing is that I am telling you that the white men did not go into our country and started killing people to take people. These people sold their people in slavery. While that is not a good thing, I disagree. But our own people sold our people. Guess what? When they started selling, then these people were happy to get guns. So they gave you gun, you gave one person to them. So when they had a gun now, they started going and using the gun on their own black people to capture them and bring them to sell them. So Africans sold Africans to slavery. That's my whole point here. If you not agree, that's it. If you say European went and take off going
No,
start killing
look,
people and start putting it on the ship, I'll
George,
leave you alone. But that's not what I said.
George,
Yeah, go ahead.
that was not my contention. My contention was not people deliberately sold their own people into slavery, right? But when you say it was a choice,
but today
there
they're not
were
even that the people fought. It's in the gun that you're
there
talking
were
about today that
there
the
were
one the people had to fight with. The
because
people fought, the people use their
because
traditional means to fight the white people. What are you talking, brother?
okay, so guys, I think we've been now 2 hours 21 minutes, so we need to close down. But I just want to obviously before we get to our closing, our brother came on his show purposely to highlight something that is obviously yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to put it in words, but his dad is going through a very hard situation right now, and he's kindly asking the viewing audience and all of us on the panel, if anybody that can chip in, man, and that's brother Putu Jr. If anybody can really chip in to facilitate them,
You say brother who?
brother Putu, right there, the brother,
Yeah, yeah.
the brother right next to you there. So if
So,
anybody,
Trey,
yeah,
I got it. I got a photo. Of my dad current status, but I don't want to share it here right now. Can I share it with you? So maybe you can just put it up or stuff.
no, absolutely. So we will get the picture. Probably we'll do that tomorrow. Hopefully, he can come tomorrow. Amy will be here, and then we can go through that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna give that out. But tomorrow definitely when Amy's return. But the brother is here to really solicit fund for his ailing dad. His dad is absolutely going through a lot right now, and he's just asking if anybody
Man,
could
just share the link
you know
on this post. The link that you guys have the numbers and everything on.
and
Share the
then
link on this live.
and
That will
then
help
we
it.
can go through that and to even build some awareness. I think he said Kwame Opa Weeks
Mhm.
also had a story for his dad. So I know this thing sometimes they have a lot
Who
to
is that?
do.
Because I saw Kwame who is talking about the guy Lobo, France Lobo. I know the guy the guy used to be the DJ, the Lobo. Is that the guy?
I have no idea.
Frank Lobo.
No, I have no idea. I mean, I literally the brother just came on tonight. I actually thought he was coming to contribute, which of course he did. He did contribute to the conversation, but he also said he purposely came for that. So we accommodate everybody. So if anybody could be a blessing to the brother, we'll tap the information on here probably tomorrow, and then we can go from there. But let's just go through our closing. Let's start with Josh. I mean, got 1 minute, man.
Thank you. So, guys, definitely, I'm not trying to be controversial. These are my
But you
views.
always try to be, bro.
No, I'm not trying. I'm doing effortlessly. Effortlessly. I am not applying any effort to be controversial. These are my views, and maybe too. Who knows? Maybe I will be hated for saying what I think, even though I'm not harming anybody about how I think. This guy was not doing anything to anybody for what he thought, what he said. He was just telling people how he felt, and guess what? He will open the floor for you to question him. People argue with him face to face, no blow, no guns. He said, "Bring your point. Let me bring my point. Let's argue ideas. Let's put ideas together. Let's see what are your ideas. Beast mine. If beast mine, I will agree with you. But most of the people who came to stand against this guy could not beat his ideas because he had facts, he had data. He told the people, he said 60% of the people in prison in America are black people. He told it, and it's backed by facts. We're not lying. And he said black man is most likely to kill a black man in America than a police cop will kill a black man. People say he racist by saying that. It is true. Go and watch 24 hours. Black people are killing black people every day in America. For just smoke. John, they'll kill a friend for it. I was just watching a video before I came on this live. Because they how the court say the girl was beyond her husband. She went for gun. She killed the girl. Just because the girl beyond her husband. But nobody going in the street to riot. But when policemen kill one black person, the whole country will go in flame. And I understand how people are using race to raise attention. I agree. Race is something because guess what? Like Africans were treated inhumanely. They work on coffee farms and so many stories about that we don't want to hear. My great grandfather came from America. That's why even my hair on my hair is not a typical Liberian hair or African hair. I got this super curly hair. You know what I mean? But I don't want to identify with it. The real name, my name, the 14th Vice President of the United States of America, his name is Wheeler. Our name was Wheeler, but it was changed to Widow. That's why it's Wheeder. It's not Ler anymore because we don't want to beat them. Just like Malcolm, he changed the name to X because he did not want the slave master name on his name. That's how my great grandfather did. That's why our name is Widow, not Wheeler anymore. So the thing is that we most of the time when we look at the social and economic and status of people living in America, we want to draw context into it. Context is always the most important thing.
30 seconds, Josh.
So guys, we all have our views, and let's not kill each other for our views. Let people express their views, express your view as well. Everyone has their view. Go and express it. Go and get a platform. Go and tell what people say they are bad. They are murderers. They are everything. Let somebody get a platform to say black people are bad. Let's do it. Let's express ourselves. Don't kill somebody for their views, people.
All right, Josh.
Thank you.
very
God
much.
bless you, and God bless Liberia.
God bless you as well. Thank you. Tatos, you there? All right, let's go to brother Puchu. Go ahead, bro.
Thank you, Tori, for giving me the opportunity to serve as one of your panelist guests. I'm so grateful to be on this live. I want to say thank you for the show, and thank all of my fellow panelists who are here, especially George. I'll call you the controversial man. you always want to be on the other side. Okay. But I like that, bro. I like what we had tonight. It was interactive. I think I would love to be here again by God's grace. When I'm here again, maybe to give you the good news that my dad is okay. But I'm actually in prayer. I want you all to be in prayer with me. Like I said, I've always thought of being in a space where I see development, especially young people trying to coordinate ideas to build our country, to make sure that we stand for what we stand for, which is uh, young development, infrastructure, making sure that we have the best, in our country, so that our nation can benefit and be represented again in the world. Um, so I've shared the videos and the link below in the chat room. So maybe if you want to know more about what is happening to my dad, I can just voice it out here. But I think I will come back again. But my dad is actually down with cancer, and this cancer, I think carcoma or stuff. I got the name for it. So, and it is at this stage 3. So
Hmm.
it's actually worse. So according to medical reports, I gathered they said when it reaches to the stage 4, then there's no cure. So we want to generate some money. We want to raise some money for him to send in India, so that he can get um, a good medical attention. So I'm here tonight to plead with every one of you out there, listener, viewers. I'm here to tell you that your little help can bring my dad back to life. He's living dead right now, and there's a man who have served his entire life trying to protect the lives of people. He served as a fire service chief of Firestone. He served as a safety manager for Meta Steel
Hmm.
in Buchanan. So he's not just any other person, but he have served. Can you out there? If God touches your heart, whatever you can contribute, please do not allow my father to go, because his life is slowly slipping his hand. So, thank you again. Thank you for the conversations tonight. I really enjoyed. Liberia is our country. Liberia will always be our country, and the government will come and go, but we Liberians got to stand together to build our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Prayer,
Thank you,
prayer,
brother.
prayer to you and your family, man. Hopefully your dad can bounce back. Um, so let's go to brother Tatos. Tatos, my man, you're closing, bro.
I thank you very much for a good show. But let me say again, I say my own moral scheme up and say it's about politics. It's not about politics, but when someone do wrong, we say it. When someone do good, we will say it. You understand? So what the government doing, if the government go contrary what they're not supposed to do, we'll say it. But if they try to make connection to the other countries and then to see how best Liberian people can live from place to place, at least to go do their study and then find way. Because some places you can go there for study. It depends. It depends now. So whenever the government do wrong, we'll say it. So it's not about politics. If someone come, if former President Joe Weah, there are so many good things that he does. So it doesn't mean that today he not in power. But when we come to that, we will say it. So, but it's a good show. Yeah, thank you very much for us being there today. We look forward for tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, brother Tatos. Thank you very much.
All right,
Morris,
Tatos, which country you from? Maryland?
Lofa.
the man from Lofa.
Lofa? Yeah, okay. You
You
sound
know,
like somebody from Maryland, my man.
it was a good show. It was a good show for the most part. Look, the reason why we are guided, we can't just do anything you want to do. Because if that was the case, there would have been a lot of chaos in the world. But the reason why when you're driving, you have time to stop so the next person can pass. When the next person passes, you have your time to pass. You have your time for all the cars to wait for the human being to cross, because that's how society organized. So we all cannot do it at the same time. Even in the house, everybody, there's a one bathroom in the house. Everybody got access to that bathroom. We all got right to use that bathroom. But you think when Mary in the bathroom, you just jump in the bathroom, and you gotta wait for Mary to finish. Mary gotta finish. She can't answer before you jump in that bathroom. That's how society is organized. You can't just go about saying anything you want to say, because we all react differently. Somebody can die for me, then you come out to say it's good for the person to die. That by itself, it requires a reaction. So, because freedom of speech is not absolute, you have to be guided. That's why I see smart people when they speak, when they speaking, they know that the way they're speaking, their speech are. A lot of people are hurt by their speech. They are protected. They guide themselves because they know that the repercussion of that their speech, is different. So they will always protect themselves. They will always guide themselves. You can't be speaking loosely and hurtfully. Then you just leave yourself vulnerable. So the young man was not actually guided. He was not actually guided, even though nobody deserved to die in such a manner. But in the same token, when you hurt people, when you say people deserve to die, there are other people somewhere too that are telling you you too deserve to die. It is sad. So we all need to guide ourselves in whatever way we find ourselves. We see ourselves. We need to guide ourselves. We can't just be loose, just talking, just cursing people 24. Because you say freedom of speech, you have to guide yourself. You have to protect yourself. You see, Prophet Key was scared. He can't call like bro because Joe, we are there. But I mean, it was a good show, man. It was a good show. We hope to be here anytime. My brother, I wish your dad a speedy recovery. I mean, if you come here tomorrow, that would be good. Because the chief host will be here tomorrow.
Just for information, when Joey was president, he was in Liberia. He went and
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
And he
No problem. No problem. No problem, George.
That'll be another conversation for another day.
No problem.
But look,
he give one down when the missing he said he will never come back on the job where he
George,
They missing. Don't stop the thing, man. They missing where?
look.
No problem, George.
Who know Prophet Key? Prophet Key are nothing. Why can't we?
Guys, let me know on closing as well.
Costa said got to lay. Say no, you need to get it serious.
Costa got to lay and cartoon and all to cross 7 million.
Let Ture go ahead. Let him
Guys, first thing first, I want to say thank you guys for coming on. George, thank you for obviously being the first to be on here. And always holding it down when things get a little convoluted, where I have to run to bring it back. You already take off. Well, obviously that serves as an opportunity for you to bring in a lot of tabatas, but needless to say, thank you for being available. But George, look, let me tell you. In as much, I totally respect freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Look, people should have the right to say whatever they want to say without any fear of repercussion or for like to a point where someone decides to take their lives. I don't think anyone deserves that. But you see, Josh, when you speak recklessly, what is
the difference between freedom of speech and recklessly? I don't understand.
Bro, there is a difference.
No, you can classify reckless as being freedom of speech.
There is a difference. Let me tell you now. When you say certain things, you are absolutely welcoming violence to your doorsteps. You know what I'm saying? And
even if Facebook, you're on, even if Facebook, you can't just say anything.
Josh, I'm not saying that even at that is a pretext or is a condition for someone to go and hunt you down because of what you said. But George, you got a lot of crazy people in this
It's
world.
on the person that hunts me down.
But wait now,
Not on me.
bro, let me tell you, nobody will hold you down if you're not making incendiary remarks. This guy have said so many stupid stuff, like incendiary stuff towards black people and brown people. Do you know what this guy said about Michelle Obama? Do you know? Look, go on Facebook right now, on social media, on TikTok.
Man, George, you know nothing about that man.
Obama is a
George,
saint. Obama is a saint. He can't do anything wrong.
But anyway, you know, George, you and I, we're not even gonna have.
George, you know nothing about that man, man. Don't mind George.
Telling me my big head. And you see Amy, she telling me my big head. Boy, that freedom of speech, and so.
Man.
And that freedom of speech.
So, but yeah, look, with all
I'll go on or
that
down.
stayed in this.
I'll go on or down because you say my big head.
But like I said, man, I mean, if you fear violence will always pursue you.
Look,
If you say some of these things that people say around here, because you have to understand, George, there are people, family that have been affected.
Exactly.
Children are getting shot in school here. I'll send the school open. Do you know how many school shootings we have? Send the school here open. In we'll be going to 2 more yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, nobody's saying, but there are a lot of parents that are crying here, right? And if he says stuff like that, there will be some kind of stupid uncle or stupid father who now lost their daughter, still trying to recover from that pain and agony. Then you go say stuff like that. That's people deserve to die. That could be a condition, bro. I'm just saying.
I know you are a Muslim and you are not a Christian, but I know even in the Quran, Jesus is there, right? So I just want to ask you a question. If I were going to sit outside Mary while she's crying for the death of Jesus, then I say, Mary, I'm sorry, but the death of Jesus is necessary so that mankind can be saved. You think she would pick up, go and shoot me in the head because she's crying for her son that has been killed? And I'm saying the death of her son is necessary to save mankind. That's what this guy was saying. He said, yeah, that's what he said. In essence, he was trying to tell you that even though it's bad for people to be killing people, but it's the sacrifice we pay to keep our 7th commandment.
But that's not even hold on, wait. That's
it. Guess what? You are afraid to say that. You are afraid to say that, but that's a reality. You still try to have everything you have.
No, that's stupid. That's not the sacrifice you were asked to pay in keeping or maintaining the Second Amendment. Let me tell you, George, the Second Amendment came about with people having a right to bear arms because they didn't want government to become so powerful. Where government, where we have like a president like Donald Trump, right? Who's now literally using the military for everything, invading cities, going into, like.
So what are going to help you now against the Donald Trump?
But that's what a lot
because that was not the reason why. Let me tell you, government cannot approve. Yeah, so listen.
So you want to teach? No. I learned this in school, bro. The whole concept of the Second Amendment, right, was to give
the right to bear arms.
The right to bear arms. And the only reason being was they didn't want to have a day like today where there will be a president as tyrannical as this guy is, right? That they will override the people so people can have the right to bear arms to defend themselves from a tyranny. That's the whole essence, bro.
But George, with your Jesus Christ example, right? If somebody goes sit outside Mary and say Jesus deserved to die, whether Mary should shoot the person, right? It's Mary's choice. But mind you, guess what? Mary is not the only relative to Jesus Christ. Jesus got other brothers. Jesus got his stepfather. Jesus got other family. Do you think all of them will react the same way? No. Mary can choose to forgive that person, but what about the rest of the other families? So that is what we are saying. Everybody can react the same way. So that's why you should be guided. You should be guided in your doing.
So Morris, I agree with you. Everybody will not act the same way.
Thank you.
Listen now, but everybody must act correctly. That's what we hold ourselves to, right? Everybody must act correctly, right? And you agree with that as well?
Correctly is subjective. Correctly could be subjective. When you consider correct, I may not consider it correct.
But definitely too is subjective as well, right?
What?
Definitely is. Everybody will not act the same way. There's people adding definitely is subjective as well, right?
But that's the same thing I'm saying. But I'm not saying.
And that's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. You either act wrong or you act correct. So people who killed this guy, they acted wrongly.
Nobody's supporting that. Nobody's supporting. Nobody's supporting that. Well, we are saying
you guys are trying to justify the death of this guy. And I'm telling you that regardless of what you say, you did not deserve to be killed. And guess what? No matter what you say, you should not be killed for it. No matter what you say, you should be killed for it. Because of your belief, people were killed because they are Christians.
Nobody's supporting you. George, you're not getting the whole point.
Because they are Muslim. Some people are killed because of what they profess. They're not killing anybody. You being a Muslim, you don't kill anybody. You don't harm anybody. But people will harm you. Being a Christian, you say anybody only because you worship God or you say Jesus is your Lord. They want to harm you. Does that mean that they get a right to harm you? No.
George, nobody's supporting. If you listen to every one of us here, we always say that nobody deserves. The God do not deserve to die in that form and manner. What we are saying is that
justifying Morris. You are justifying. Say he says a lot of around this thing. He says some.
I said
this because somebody said bad things. You get it right. Regardless of what somebody says, you shouldn't even harm anybody for what they say.
George,
I said no. Let him say I said it. That's okay. But let it say I said it.
Whatever you guys want to say.
George, it was not more.
George,
that's crossfire. I said,
if you see or at least read some of the outlandish, incendiary remarks that this guy made, including a lot of black queens, black professors. This guy, he created a platform called the Turning Point. The Turning Point.
Yeah.
Right.
The Turning Point, yeah.
And the whole essence of that, right, was to engage in critical examination of black and brown educators. Listen to me.
Not just that. Let me tell you something.
Go on my page right now. Wait now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Guys, we see. I see you tomorrow. My phone running.
You know what, George? Good night, man. They show over. I just want to say thank you to our viewers, all of our listeners, people that commented, people that contributed. I want to say thank you guys. So long.
I mean at 3 o'clock. I mean in the afternoon there. I mean I know 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
Almost 2 o'clock there.
Yeah, you see 2 o'clock. My other thing talking at it's 2 o'clock when we started.